Another hot day was today, and we can expect that to continue. More on the forecast coming up.
Turning our attention now to the weather. Now, we're seeing more burn orders due to these dry conditions. Molly, start here. Molly, is there any relief anytime soon?
Unfortunately, Jabari, my answer would be no. We're not having much of a rain chance, if any, over the next few days. Now, as we approach the weekend, that chance could raise up to a whole 5% and maybe even 10%, but it's not looking very hopeful. As you mentioned, we did see some burn orders being put into place, and over the next few days, I wouldn't be shocked if there are more. We have areas like Demopolis in a severe drought, and most of our central area is in that moderate to dry. It's very much the western half of Alabama. As you can see, areas like Coleman, Anniston, Rockford, not even in a drought, but unfortunately that relief is not in sight for sure, given that the models don't want to agree. But I'll have details on this and the temperatures coming up more in weather. Dry conditions are still affecting our area. All of this and more when we come back. We're starting off with a very clear and mild night. Now, not a cloud in sight here across western Alabama, but we saw some earlier that were providing the slightest bit of shade from these temperatures. Now, it's September. We're still seeing those 90s on the board, but the bad news is they're not going away anytime soon. We saw 93 here in Tuscaloosa and Jasper. Areas like Anniston and Haleyville sticking around in those 80s, but very close to that near 90-degree mark. The good news is we're not still seeing those 90s. As we do make our way further into this fall, we do start to see a little bit more fall-like temperatures at night. 68 currently in Linden, 74 still here in Tuscaloosa, Birmingham still at 75, but again, areas like Haleyville, Gadsden, a little bit cooler, seeing that 69, 70-degree mark. So you're going to see some variation over the state within those temperatures, especially our hot spots like our bigger cities here in Alabama. They're going to stay a little bit warmer, take more time to get rid of that heat from the day. Now, copy paste today for tomorrow. There's your forecast. So headed out the door for the bus stop or headed out to work, you can expect sunny skies, about 65 degrees. Might be within that 60-degree range from 62 to about 68. You're going to see those 60s for the remainder of the week. But as you're headed out the door from work, back home, or back home from school, getting off that school bus, you're going to see those sunny skies. Still, you're seeing temperatures in those low 90s as well. It's the same pattern. We're just going to put this on repeat throughout the whole rest of the week. Currently, that Doppler radar is dry. It's our lovely ground clutter we see this time of night. Broken record. We're always seeing this. It's about 10 p.m., so we're going to see that no matter where we're at, especially within areas like Alabama where we're seeing a lot of topography changes. Now, next chance of rain ahead. Believe it or not, there are bars on this graph. There's none for Wednesday, none for Thursday. 5% chance for Friday, slowly increasing for Saturday, Sunday, but not much more. We're talking about all this dry weather, but let's see the implications of that dry weather. Taking a look at our drought monitor, we're seeing that most all of western central Alabama is within a drought. Now, areas are pretty much dry to moderate, but we have small areas down near Demopolis that are in a severe drought. So we do need some rain headed our way. But the good news is, if you're like me, you're counting down the days until the holidays. Fall starts in about 6 days. We've got Halloween in 45, Thanksgiving in 72, and the big news for today, Christmas is in exactly 100 days from today. But it's not looking like Christmas weather out there. We've got those 90s all across the board for the week, 60s overnight, and like I said, we're seeing those mid-60s for those overnight lows the whole rest of the week. We're seeing that small little chance of rain on Friday, Saturday, Sunday into next week. However, more people are going to see sunshine than will see rain. It might be about 3 people total that see rain on Friday. Obviously, this is subject to change, but this is due to very dry tropics and other synoptic level factors of meteorology that I won't go into. But as the hurricane season does move on and continues to stay calm for right now, make sure to download our free WVUA 23 app. Keep up to date with weather coverage and updates, as well as our social media platforms. Search Richard Scott, WVUA 23.
All right, Molly, thank you. Well, Gary Harris is standing by. Look at what's coming up in sports. Gary, good evening. And of course, before we go, final sports here.
Yeah, no Alabama game this weekend.
Yeah.
I said on Tyler Insider TV tonight that we're only 3 weeks in. The players need a rest. I feel like I'm ready to rest.
Yeah.
But just because there's no Alabama doesn't mean we won't be covering a lot of football.
Right.
Football Friday night, 10:30. Our game of the week this week is going to be Hewitt-Trussville at Hillcrest.
Okay.
That is a huge Class 7A Region 3 game, which means, of course, we'll be live at Hillcrest Friday night at 5,
right.
and then that'll be our game of the week on Friday night and Football Friday at 10:30. Also, without Alabama playing, we're going to focus on some other high schools as well. And, of course, on the radio in the morning, the Gary Harris Show at 9 a.m., I'm going to be talking Alabama football and basketball recruiting.
Right.
So we'll look forward to that 9 a.m. on Tide 100.9 FM.
All right, Gary, thank you. And of course, we've been talking weather, the
Yeah.
dryness, the
I'm tired of it.
no
I'm ready
burn
for a
all
break.
of
Me
that.
too, honestly. But they're going to have good football Friday
Yeah.
weather, so that's good. There's not much of a chance of rain, if any. I
Right.
don't believe that 5%. It's hesitant to even put it, but, I got to do my job. But it's the same pattern. 60s overnight, back into those low 90s, lots of sunshine.
Wow.
That's all I can say for
Well, I'm looking forward for the night, because that was night with temperatures.
Yeah, it's
Night-
good
night
for
temperatures
high
are good.
school
Right.
to not have to
Exactly.
go out and worry about rain.
Right.
But at
Exactly.
some point, we're going to need some
Yeah.
moisture.
We do. We do need it.
All right. But that's it for us. We're back here again tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Until then, have a great night.